have you decided that, yes, this is what you want to do? You just aren't for sure the date that you want to start.
Okay.
And if that answer is yes, this is the time that I want, this is when I want to do it, then you would say, if financially this is a decision, it's going to be cheaper for you to start now. Tax write-off, you're offering incentive. I've even told people the firming cream, well, she loves the firming cream, so maybe this won't work for her, but for other people, I'm like, sell that firming cream. That's like $100 off your kit. So it doesn't normally come in our kit. So if they don't want to use it, they can sell that piece of it.
Or other things, or other parts.
Or other things,
yeah.
Right. Or anything in the product. Yeah. But just kind of saying this is something extra in December that won't be available. So you waiting 10 days, you lose all of those things. So financially, if you've already made the decision, this is what you want to do. Financially, let's get you the kit now. I'm going to help you at the very least get your free product because I know you don't have a ton of time. And then January 1, we start and talk more business strategy.
Good. Okay. I'm going at it again.
Let's do it.
Make a decision. She's very analytical. Analytical, and she's analyzing it to death.
So I would say that to her. I would say, I know you're very...
And I would call her.
Yeah, for sure. Call her and say, listen, I know you're over analyzing this to death because that's who you are, which is great. However, sometimes, especially analytical people, kind of need to be told what to do. Like they just, here's the best situation. This is why it's the smartest decision financially and time. I've solved your issues. If this is already something you've decided you're doing, it would be crazy not to take advantage of the extras.
Right. She said she's really intrigued. She says where she can make money. I mean, we have like an hour and a half lunch. She knows the things. It just that she's analyzing it to death. You're right. Which is to say, hey, but I do like the part that you said, hey, let's get you in now, get your best deal possible. 10 days from now, we'll talk about the strategy on how to do more.
Yep.
I think she's just afraid in the next, 2 weeks, she's not going to have time.
Right.
So, okay. Thank you.
The time it takes for us to get you free product is non-existent.
Right.
Just be like, that is not an issue. So right. I want you to take advantage of the specials and the discounts and all those things that December has to offer, because you'll be mad come January that you didn't.
Because this is only December. And I told her,
right,
you only get this free stuff in December. She asked about buying samples instead of doing the $750 kit. And I told her, you can do that. I said, it would be more than it's not going to be $250 to buy samples. And I told her how much it costs, and samples are a great way. You don't have to have a duplicate of the night cream and the eye serum. I said that would be fine if you want to do that, because she wants to make sure she has product to share with people. So the samples are that's what they're there for.
Right.
So I told her she could go in and buy those, and it'd be very inexpensive. So, okay. Thank you. That's mine. I'm going to get her in.
That's it. Keep me updated.
Okay.
All right. Any other examples that you guys are working with someone and you just really don't know what else to do or say to them?
I do. This is Nicole. Can you hear me?
Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a girl that started as a PC in August, and she actually reached out to me from a post and was like, okay, I've got to try this stuff. Her sister used to be a Rodan and Fields rep, no longer is. And so she's bought the product almost every month, at least every other month. And finally I was like, listen, and her name's Nicole. Listen, Nicole, this, you've got to do something. You've got to do this. She's like, well, I have this person that could be interested in the firm, and my daughter really wants to sell it. So anyway, I've talked to Mandy in detail about her, and she kind of was like, all right, I've got to do this. I got to sign up. But she's always busy, and she's just always like, okay, yeah, we'll talk later. And it's like one of those things. It's like 11:59, and then she finally gives me her credit card number. It's one of those things where I guess I hope she's taking it seriously. But today she posted and was like at a Christmas event, and she's got a picture of herself, her husband, and her son, and her skin looks amazing. And she bought the hair care set, so her hair looks great. And I was like, oh, you look amazing. And she puts under it, she says, it must be those eye patches. It must be night cream. I'll talk to you later, ... And I was like, she's posting this on Facebook. And so I texted her today and I was like, hey, I was serious about, you look great. And, let's get you signed up before, Christmas. And I ironically am going to be in her neck of the woods, but next Monday for Christmas in Michigan. And so I don't know what else to do to get her signed up. It's like she's dancing around the whole opportunity, but I mean, it is the opportunity.
Right. Okay. Does she have an order that is going to run this month?
Sorry, my son is
You have a
all of a
monkey.
sudden, yes. One of my monkeys. She does. I mean, she's.
Okay. When is that going to run?
It's the 23rd.
Okay. So I would text her and say, I have to talk to you before your order processes. When do you have 5 minutes to chat?
Okay.
So you need to get a hold of her before her order runs. What is in her order? Do you know, to run on the 23rd?
It's a firm and a night cream. Or no, okay. Firm and day.
Firm and day. So that's what, 75 and 80. So it's like, let's call it $200 with tax and shipping and all that. Well, it won't be cheap.
Right.
Anyway. So this should be, since firm is something she already orders, what you can say to her is be like, listen, because she's already said it's something that she's kind of interested in, right? She just never has.
Oh, no, she's totally interested in her daughter. She wants her daughter to, like, sorry, of course, I'm on this, and both of them come in. She wants her daughter to basically sell it. She's like, her daughter is in Girl Scouts and has all these moms that help her out and blah, 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 blah.
So I would get her on the phone. So I would first say, hey, I need to talk to you before your order processes. I wouldn't say why, what, just I need to talk to you before then. When do you have 5 minutes to chat? When you get her on the phone, say, hey, your order's processing on the 23rd for a firm and a day cream. I know you've been interested in doing this kind of as a side gig, making some extra money. I would bring up, you have so-and-so that wants to try it. All the things that she's brought to you of like people she thinks that would want to try it. Like, you made a post on Facebook, you're already doing this. I'm just going to help you start getting paid for it. And by joining today, and I would use the word today, I would say, if we can get you started today, instead of paying $200 to be a customer, we're going to give you, for $300 more, you're going to get, oh my God, how many products are in the kit? 17 products are in the kit, right? Why can't I ever remember this number?
I just looked it up. 13.
13 products are in the kit? Okay. Yep. So instead of spending $200 for two products, we're going to spend an additional $300 and get, 11 more because you're getting the firm for free. 11 more products that you already use, that you love. Some of them you haven't used, but you will. You're going to get that free firm, which is worth $100. You're going to get a December tax write-off, which is going to be a really big deal for your taxes. And we can start getting your next month's product for free. I know and I would give her all her objections. I know it's December. I know you're busy. I know all of these things, but I also know you, and you're going to want to take advantage of all of these things that the business has to offer. So I can't let you run your ADO and just be a customer when I know that you can at least get it for free and start getting paid to do it. And whenever, a great question that I ask for people like that is, what's holding you back from getting started today? The people who are like, oh yeah, I'll call you into, stuff's going on, this, that, and the other. So what's holding you back from starting right now? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing about it. And I've called her, I've left her messages, and then she'll text me back and say, sorry, I'm not ignoring you. I'm at the doctor. We'll call you back later. And then she doesn't. But one time I did get her on the phone and we talked for an hour and a half. And this is when I actually said to her, you can do this business. Do this with me. It's fun. It's really easy. It's simple. I use the word simple. And she's like, okay. She's like, I have my daughter, blah, 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 blah. It's just a matter of finally getting her to just sign up. And I think that's the thing, is that she thinks that this is huge, like progress or this whole process, right? Where it's
Right.
just basically clicking, that she's going to sign up. So I've done calling, I've done the voice text. I haven't done that video thing. I don't know if that's even necessary that you were talking about last night. But I guess, the ADO, I haven't tried that. So I'll do that. Thank
You just need, hey, before your order runs, we need to talk. Like, it's important. And just get her on the phone. And then if you're on the phone for 20, 30 minutes, don't waste the 20, 30. Like, if she's ready, get your card. This is going to take 5 minutes to set up your account and get your kit on its way. And because if she's like, oh, I'm going to be leaving in 10 minutes, great. It's going to take 5 to get your account set up and get your product on its way. I'm going to, you won't have obviously your customer order run because this is going to count as your order. And then whenever you're done doing your doctor's appointment or whatever, then we can chat about what to do next. But let's just get the order on its way, because with shipping and Christmas and all those things, time is of the essence.
Right. I mean, she's already got it all lined out. I mean, she's already has her, her daughter's friend's mom being like, she wants a firm. She's sampled. She's a broker. So she helps like with tons of people with houses and whatnot. And she's like, I have these little gifts I'm giving away, the eye patches. I'm like, you're already doing it. Like, you're using your own inventory that you're purchasing. You might as well get the kit and do it. So
Yeah.
It's just a matter of getting it done. So I'll try the ADO. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Who's next? Anybody? My ears itch so bad. Headphones. Anybody else have one?
Yeah, what else is going on? I have something
I've
that
got a couple.
What?
I have a couple that I just met last weekend that I sent. One is a respiratory therapist, and I sent her Jennifer's overview.
Okay.
And then the other one is an older lady that literally walked by my vendor booth for 3 days and kept looking at pictures and kept walking. And then she'd come by and she'd walk again. And finally I was like, can I answer some questions for you or whatever? And she said, I've been looking at this all weekend and I just have to ask, does this really work? And I'm like, well, you've been looking at the pictures, it works. So she's very interested as well. She did buy free. I sent her Samantha's overview.
Okay.
And I sent it to her last night. She literally opened it within the other one. I haven't gotten the notice that she opened it yet, but she was very interested and said she's actually looking for a side gig. She originally said, why don't I talk to you after the first of the year? And I said, that's fine, but think about this. And then I brought up the tax thing. Mm-hmm. And I said, if you do it, in the next couple of weeks, you get to write it all off on this year's taxes. She goes, well, maybe I will talk to you within the next 2 weeks. So I sent that stuff and I haven't heard anything back from either one of them. And I didn't, I just don't know how fast I should, because the first one, I think I gave her some samples. I talked to so many people, I can't even remember, but the one did buy night cream. She did say her face felt softer the next morning. How much time do I give them? I say, hey,
So the one there's one of the two that has already watched the video for sure that you've gotten notification.
Yeah. That's the one that bought the night cream. Yeah.
Okay. And have you followed up with her at all yet?
Just when I sent her the video last night, I said, did you use it last night? And how did
you talked to her last night? That's what I was trying to, when was the last?
Texted. I didn't talk to her. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And she had good positive feedback.
She just said her face did feel softer.
Right.
But she only used it one night. So.
Right. So then I would say, have you had a chance to look over the video? I'd love to talk to you tomorrow about why the discounts and perks of joining this month and see if it's a good fit for you.
Okay.
So I would try and get her on the phone next.
Okay.
Since you don't know her like personally, it's like, what's in it for them?
Right.
I would like to talk to you in the next couple days, or what time tomorrow would you have to talk? Because there is time sensitive discounts available for the other kits.
Okay. And the other one, when I sent the video, I put, like a little blurb with it that said, let me know when I can get together with you this week. I'll be happy to drive over and we can talk about it and whatever. And I didn't even get a response. And she was the one that was actually looking for a side gig. So.
And so you sent that message, 2 days ago?
I sent them both last night.
Okay. So I would give her, if it was last night, I would give her maybe, if she doesn't respond to you tomorrow, I would send a response and be like, hey, I just wanted to follow up with you. I know you were looking for something on the side to get started. Wanted to answer questions, see if it's a good fit, but also tell you about time sensitive discounts.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I feel like somebody put one in a chat. Hold on. I have a class A due to me talking about what I do. This is Becky Ingman. Oh, is this just to me? Becky, I'm going to read this. Is that okay? Okay. So that everyone can kind of see.
Yeah, it's fine.
She has a class A talking about what she does. Said maybe she should get the kit and decide then what she likes. I contacted her, but she said she wants to wait until after Christmas. I have invited her to the opportunity calls, and she says she is busy. My plan is to contact her right after Christmas. Any suggestions on how to get someone who has never tried but may want the kit and may want to share later? For sure, there are some people who kind of want to test the waters. And so getting that kit in December is financially beneficial for her, kind of like what we mentioned before. The tax write-off, the free firm, both of those won't be available January. Well, it'll be a tax write-off, but it'll be the beginning of the year. So delayed gratification there. So if she has already said, contact me right after Christmas, that is what I would do. Like on the 26th, I would be like, hey, I hope you had a great Christmas. When do you have 5 minutes to chat today about something time sensitive regarding those kits that you were thinking of getting? And that's kind of what I would do with her.
Okay. Easy enough.
Yeah.
Would you give them like samples now, or would I wait? Did I wait?
Is she local to you?
Yes.
So yeah, that may not be a bad idea. I think that's a good idea. Look at you answering your own questions. So yeah, if she's local to you, you could be like, hey, I just wanted to drop off a couple items, and I know you weren't ready to order anything till after Christmas, which is fine, but from what's today, 17th. So for the next, week or so, you can just kind of get a feel for it. And I would set up, I'm not expecting crazy results or anything like that, but kind of give her just maybe like a night cream and a face wash, just something. I wouldn't go with like 20 products, just something simple to let her kind of make her get a little bit more excited, and it gives you something else to follow up with on in the meantime. Anybody else? Patia, did you have one?
Something that I wanted to mention to you guys, I feel like right now it's just a lot of working with people and getting them to that next step. I have a lot of class A's, which is crazy, but I'm like, okay, how do I get them to the next step? And something that I have really been honing in on is just the value that we do have. Okay, so we say, oh yeah, you get the kit and you get a free website. Do you know how much our website is to get started with? I mean, we say it's like no big deal, but like starting a website is like $2,500 plus. And I'm just trying to add a little bit more value on what we are actually giving these people. We're giving them a community. We're giving them tax write-offs for December. This kit has, the $500 kit has almost $1,000 worth of products. And like you said, sell half of them if you want to sell them and make your money back. The free firm alone it's just trying to emphasize more value that they are getting than just the little simple things that we take. I think sometimes we take for granted because we're so used to it.
Sure.
But I've been talking to a lot of other entrepreneurs, and they're like, oh my gosh, a website? And, and that's a big deal for them because they have to put these things together on their own. So just some 2 cents there.
I like that. And something else that I've been training at some regionals that I think, especially if you've been doing this for a little while, you kind of forget to talk about because we've just kind of gotten into a systematic way of kind of how you talk about the business or how you present it to people. But I did this in Orlando and I did this in Indianapolis, where I had someone come up at the front of the room who kind of said, I feel like I'm good at getting customers. I'm just not really that good at getting brand partners, which I hear a lot. And so I have them come up and I just simply ask them the question, what made you say yes? So initially, no matter how long they've been doing this, what was the reason that made you go from I'm not a brand partner to I'm a brand partner? And they both shared, it was the product. They had both used the product before and they really wanted to get their product for free. And then, I asked, so from the time you've said yes to today, what benefits has this company brought your life? So for both of them, there was financial stuff, there was emotional stuff, there was personal development stuff. There were huge milestones in their life. One of the ladies was able to start her own business from home instead of working for the company that she was working for, which she said was always just a huge risk that their family was never willing to take. But this side gig allowed them to be able to do that. So she kind of got emotional and thinking about, oh my gosh, over the 3 years, or I think it was 3 or 4 years, what it's actually done for her life. And then I said, and what do you want to do with this? What is your next thing? What is your next why? And, one was very emotional. She was like, my husband works too much and I would love to be able to offset and get him a job that he likes instead of having to have him gone all the time. And the other lady, really, I think hers was more of, she just needed a little bit more financial security for certain things in her household. And so they both had very specific whys. And then I looked at them and I said, when is the last time you shared those 3 things with someone? In the last month, how many people have you shared that with? And both of them were like, I haven't. And past 3 months, past 4 months, past 6 months, past year. And they kind of weren't sharing what made them say yes, what it's done for them so far, and what they want to do next with it. And that's everything. When you're wanting to share this business with people, that is more valuable than any other piece of information that you can give, because it's so authentic to who you are and will speak right to them. And obviously, if you know why they need it, it's always going to speak to that as well. For people who, I got a friend who maybe they need private dance, and my gosh, I want to start a dance studio because that is expensive for people, and it really stresses people out. And so they're back and forth, and you're like, listen, you haven't found another way to pay for dance yet. If you have, awesome. But if you haven't, this is still here. And in December, let me tell you why this business is beneficial to join today than it is waiting. Because when I first joined, all I wanted was free product. And in the last 6 years in doing this, it's brought me well beyond what I invested financially, but personal development, the group of people I've met along the way, and what I want to do next is blank. And you share, so it's putting that into everyone you're talking to about this business helps just make them feel comfortable in knowing that, oh my gosh, I can start for this reason, but look what it's already done for her, and I'm excited about what it could do for me. Does that make sense? Does anybody else have any other questions? I know we're at our 30-minute mark, but if anybody else has any other questions or someone that they thought of, I'm happy to share. All right.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank
Well,
you.
let's get everybody +1 qualified on this Zoom, and then you could be like, oh my gosh, I was on a Zoom with Shalon, and that's why I'm +1 qualified.
Yes.
Totally kidding. I hope
Yes.
each of you guys have a fantastic Christmas. Love you guys.
Thank